What is up, financial family? It's your boy Financial eBucks, and I'm back again with another video. So the topic that I'll be discussing in this video today is in regards to the difference between paper assets, stocks, bonds, and ETFs versus physical and digital assets, right? Physical assets would include gold and silver, and digital assets would basically include cryptocurrencies, right? The one thing you have to realize is that there's a difference between paper assets and physical and digital. The difference between paper assets and physical assets is that physical assets are non-centralized, right? They are not controlled by the central government, basically meaning that the central government doesn't have the ability to be able to manipulate and change up your assets so that it can benefit them and not benefit you, right? With paper assets, ETFs, bonds, and stocks, the central government basically has the ability to manipulate those paper assets because they're basically controlled by them. Therefore, they have the ability to manipulate them. As they manipulate them, they're manipulating them, right? Whether it's the stocks, bonds, or ETFs, it doesn't matter, right? They're manipulating them in their favor, not for you. So what they'll tell you is to basically live below your means and invest for the long term, while they're basically taking up all your money that you're investing for the long term. Why do you see that in majority of situations, especially when it comes to Wall Street and stocks? You'll invest money in a stock and you end up losing more than you gain because they make it to work in their favor. The people on Wall Street, they're making it to work in their favor, right? The people of the government are making it to work in their favor. So you have to see these things for the way that they truly are, right? Physical assets, gold and silver, these are the stores for the future, in the sense that when the world government decides to move over from paper currency to digital currency, right? Because of everything going on right now with obviously cryptocurrencies and digital currencies or digital assets basically taking over, they understand that with the amount of money that they're printing out every single day, it doesn't even matter whether it's the US dollar, the peso, the pound, euro, naira, doesn't matter, and so on and so forth, right? It does not matter. Point is that they realize that they're devaluing their currency day in and day out. So there's going to come to a point where they're not going to be able to have any more money to be able to pay back off their debt, because the more money they print out, the more the purchasing power of their currency is decreasing, the more debt they're taking out, and they're not going to be able to pay off that debt that they're taking out by printing more and more money to be able to service their needs and their goods that they're basically purchasing, right? It's going to cause inflation rates to rise. It's going to cause interest rates to decrease. It's just going to continuously put us in a state of hyperinflation, and it's only going to continue to get worse. But regardless of the situation, right, gold and silver basically are inflation hedges, and like I said, they're stores of the future. So when the world government decides to move over from paper currencies to digital currencies, you want to make sure that you hold on to gold and silver so you can be able to protect your purchasing power. You can be able to protect your own interest against the manipulation of the government, right? Because the one thing you have to realize is that especially as you hold these assets, the government's eventually going to end up coming to you and trying to confiscate these assets from you. So your best bet is to make sure you hold on to gold, hold on to silver, put them in vaults, and ship them overseas, where only you and probably one other person, more likely than not, is probably going to be the person who has access to the vault, will be able to get a hold of your gold and silver. You get my point? So make sure you hold on to gold and silver. Those are physical assets. Cryptocurrencies are something that you also want to hold on to as well. Why? Cryptocurrencies are a decentralized network, basically meaning that government doesn't even have the ability to manipulate it, right? They don't have the ability to manipulate the system to work in their favor. That's exactly why they're trying to move over from paper currencies to, well, that's one reason why they're trying to move over from paper currencies to digital currencies, because they want to be on that same level with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, right? Compound. They want to be on that same level to be able to compete with them. On top of that as well, too, they realize that, like I mentioned before, they're moving to a point of no return, especially when it comes to the digital, or when it comes to the paper currencies, because they keep printing out more and more money. The more money you print out, the less valuable the money is. The less valuable the money is, the more inflation increases. The more inflation increases, the more interest rates decrease, which is basically going to decrease the purchasing power of the currency you're using. So it's gonna, like, this is the thing you have to realize. You're gonna end up spending more money for a good that is devalued, right? How do you know it's devalued? Because it costs more. If it costs less, then it's gonna have more value, at least when it comes to purchasing goods, right? The one thing you have to realize is that what the world government basically wants us to do is that they basically want us to work, aka basically have a job and work for an asset that is devaluing day in and day out, minute in and minute out, second in and second out. What is the devaluing asset? Money, paper money, right? Paper money is devaluing consistently and constantly. So why are you going to continuously work for an asset that is devaluing? You're working hard for an asset that you're basically not even going to be able to reap the benefits of fully, because it's losing its value every single minute. So be mindful of these things, right? That's why I advise you guys, if you're going to invest more in physical and digital assets, like I mentioned, gold, invest in silver, even real estate as well too. Real estate is a physical asset that is going to produce you cash flow. Gold and silver, what they're mainly going to do is they're going to help you protect your purchasing power and insurance against the manipulation of the world government. But real estate is an asset that you can invest in, that's a physical asset that will generate you cash flow, right? So if you invest in single-family houses, multifamily houses, if you invest in these assets, right, they're going to produce you cash flow, right? Because obviously people need to live there. People always need a place to live. People always need transportation. People always need to eat food. If you invest in these things that the government basically is supposed to be doing, not only are you going to receive tax benefits from that as well too, people are also going to pay you an extraordinary amount of money for you to be able to not only pay off the mortgage on the house, but also produce cash flow. Obviously, minus all of the other expenses that are going to go into fixing up some parts of the house, like parts of the property and stuff. And then cryptocurrency as well too. You want to look at these things. Why? Because they're gonna protect you against the manipulation of the central government, of the world government. See these things for the way that they truly are, because the reality of the situation is that as time goes by, things are only going to get worse. So you need to be ready. You need to be prepared for what's about to happen, so that you put yourself and you put others in the best situation to become successful, especially when you can't trust the world government anymore, right? You have to be careful. You have to be ready. Start preparing. We are in 2021. 2022 is coming quick. And trust me, by the time that 2022 comes, half of these things are going to start to happen. So definitely start to prepare. Be ready. Invest in gold. Invest in silver. Invest in real estate. Invest in cryptocurrencies. And prepare yourself for the future. If you understand, you understand. If you do not understand, you do not understand. This is going to be the end of this video. If you like this video, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Financial eBucks, FinancialEBucks, and tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Financial family, you know what's up. This is your boy eBucks, aka Alex. I'm just kidding. This is your boy Financial eBucks. We're gonna catch you later. Take care.